don't know what evidence Busby has other than the testimony of his client.
Right.
Are there text messages? Is there some record? I mean, this driver who allegedly she jumped in the car with and went to the, the party.
These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are.
Hip-hop mogul Jay-Z facing a rape allegation. Sean Carter, his real name, is doubling down against his accuser, saying she's looking for money and fame, releasing a new statement overnight, calling for the claims to be actually dismissed.
Y'all, this story just took a new turn that no one saw coming because Jay-Z is now entangled in an explosive legal battle that has everybody talking. Leaked voicemails and shocking claims suggest he's been pulling strings behind the scenes, but it doesn't end there, with more women allegedly stepping forward and ties with the Diddy scandal surfacing everywhere. This situation is spiraling out of control. Stay tuned because what's being uncovered could change everything. Yeah, y'all, things are heating up for Jay-Z and Roc Nation, and not in a good way. Texas attorney Tony Busby, who's representing several alleged victims in the explosive Sean Diddy Combs case, has accused Jay-Z's team of orchestrating an illegal operation to intimidate his former clients. According to a bombshell lawsuit, Roc Nation allegedly financed a scheme to target and bribe former clients of Busby's firm. But that's not all, because the accusations include reports of operatives flashing fake badges and pretending to work for the state of Texas. One former client was allegedly offered $10,000 to turn against Busby, painting a picture of tactics that are as shady as they are desperate. Busby isn't backing down at all, though, because in his words, this scheme wasn't just sloppy, it was caught on tape. Yes, y'all, there's allegedly audio proof of Jay-Z's team's involvement. Now, Jay-Z's team is saying this whole thing is just a desperate move to distract from the real issues. But let's not forget, this is all happening while Jay-Z himself is caught up in a serious lawsuit. Jay-Z has been accused in a civil case tied to a shocking 2000 incident involving a 13-year-old girl. While he's denied any wrongdoing and hasn't been criminally charged, the timing of these new allegations couldn't be worse.
We turn now to the latest on the sexual assault allegations against Jay-Z, accused of sexually assaulting a then 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs at an after-party back in 2000. Both men have denied all wrongdoing.
But listen, it gets real murky because the alleged victim recently admitted her story has some inconsistencies, but she's standing by the core of her claims. Some people think these new findings have weakened the case, but others are saying it's only a piece of a bigger puzzle.
And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. They know who they are.
But let's not forget how Diddy's situation connects to all of this. He's already facing federal charges in the ST case that's revealing decades of abuse and manipulation through his infamous freak-off parties. Prosecutors are still digging, and there's talk that more big names in the industry could be dragged into this mess. Could Jay-Z be next? But the connections between these two moguls are hard to ignore, and the allegations are making people question just how deep the love goes.
But in the case of these three men that have just filed civil complaints against Sean Combs, these are allegations that are between 2019 and 2022, so they're more recent claims.
This whole thing between Busby and Jay-Z, though, it started months ago when the lawyer sent a letter making some heavy accusations. When Jay-Z didn't respond, Busby filed a lawsuit on behalf of Jane Doe, the alleged victim from that 2000 incident. And let's just say, Jay-Z did not take it lying down. He filed his own countersuit accusing Busby of trying to extort him. But Busby came right back, adding Jay-Z's name to the lawsuit in October and refusing to back down. The whole thing is turning into a legal tug-of-war that's got everybody asking, who's yapping and capping and who's telling the truth, Ruth? But here's where the drama takes a whole new level. Those leaked voicemails, well, they're tied to some jaw-dropping allegations about Roc Nation's alleged efforts to silence and manipulate clients tied to attorney Tony Busby's firm. Busby claims that shortly after he filed the anonymous lawsuit against Diddy and the unnamed celebrities, his clients started getting unexpected visits from so-called investigators. And these people didn't just show up empty-handed. They were reportedly flashing fake badges, claiming to be from the state of Texas and asking if clients wanted to join a class action lawsuit against Busby's firm.
He also called the rapper's allegations a, quote, coordinated and desperate effort to focus the public's attention on me personally to avoid attention on the allegations being made by my clients.
But it didn't stop there, because according to the lawsuit, those operatives were pushy, offering connections to private lawyers and dangling the promise of easy money in front of vulnerable clients. One particular case involved a former client, Gerardo Garcia, who was approached at his home by two individuals claiming to represent the state. They allegedly told him they could help him sue Busby's firm, insisting there was money in this for you. But y'all, here's the kicker. One of these so-called investigators slipped up and admitted on tape that they were actually working for a Mississippi attorney connected to Roc Nation's philanthropic arm, Team Rock. Well, Roc Nation is being linked directly to these shady dealings, and now there's a recording that could serve as hard evidence. But to make matters even worse, the investigator allegedly told Garcia that 70 people had already signed on to the class action lawsuit. Imagine that. Dozens of people potentially being pulled up into this mess under false pretenses. It's a manipulative, calculative, and if true, completely illegal. This entire situation has left people asking one big question: how far is Roc Nation willing to go to protect Jay-Z's empire? And if the allegations are in fact true, we're not just talking about legal battles or PR nightmares. This is about outright coercion and undermining the justice system. And with leaked voicemails allegedly backing up these claims, the whole thing feels just less like speculation and more like scandal waiting to explode. Now, the leaked voicemails didn't just stop at exposing Roc Nation's alleged interference. They've ignited a series of lawsuits that could bring on even more heat to this already messy situation. While it's unclear if a formal class action lawsuit against Tony Busby's firm has truly been filed, two former clients have recently stepped forward with explosive claims. Let's start with Adam Guidry, the former ship captain who alleges that Busby's firm left him high and dry after a personal injury settlement. According to his lawsuit, Guidry settled his case for over $300,000, but only walked away with a mere $5,123 in his pocket. The rest, it reportedly went to attorney fees, expenses, and a loan repayment riddled with high interest charges. But here's the wild part. The lawsuit claims that Busby's firm charged Guidry over $23,000 in interest on an $85,000 loan. If true, that's not just lawyer math, it's downright predatory. But that's not all. Another former client, Matthew Ray Thompson, has come forward with similar accusations. Thompson alleges that Busby's firm took more than 60% of his settlement and overstated case expenses to pad their own pockets. The suit even claims that the law firm deposited settlement checks into its own operating account and issued funds to Thompson and his wife via Venmo as high-interest loans. Not Venmo. These lawsuits don't just paint Busby's firm in a bad light, they also raise questions about whether Roc Nation's alleged meddling influenced these clients to come forward. Are these isolated incidents, or could this be a part of a larger strategy to discredit Busby and his work? I want to know if it's actually true, because if that's true, then those people that are underneath him for these settlements might want to jump ship. But to make matters worse, these claims give Roc Nation's team more ammunition to argue that Busby's firm is unreliable and unethical. And if true, this could seriously undermine Busby's ongoing cases, including those involving Diddy and Jay-Z. And if you thought that this was crazy, wait until you hear this news. New allegations have surfaced against Busby, and they're explosive. According to court documents obtained by The Mirror, the Texas attorney is now being accused of concealing a venereal disease and transmitting it to a former client.
The high-profile attorney who filed multiple lawsuits against Diddy and one against Jay-Z is now accused of infecting a woman he dated with a venereal disease, according to a new suit filed in New York Supreme Court.
But that's not all. Busby didn't waste any time clapping back. In a very bold statement, he slammed the accusations as frivolous, laughable, and ridiculous. calling them nothing more than an attempt to tarnish his reputation. And here's where things got really heated. Busby claims that these allegations are part of a larger conspiracy allegedly orchestrated by Roc Nation to intimidate him into backing down from the lawsuits tied to Diddy. But let's really talk about the timing, because the timing of these allegations is more than suspicious. Right as Busby is turning up the heat on Diddy and Jay-Z with lawsuits that could potentially expose more industry secrets, these accusations against him conveniently surface. Coincidence? Not likely. According to Busby, this isn't just about trying to embarrass him, it's about stopping him in his tracks. He called out what he describes as a criminal conspiracy to discredit him and keep him from pursuing justice for his clients. And if you're thinking that this sounds calculated, you're not alone, because many are questioning whether this is a legitimate concern about Busby's actions or a tactic to shift attention away from the accusations against Jay-Z and Diddy.
But Jay-Z's made it clear, man, that he's not paying one penny, and he's personally called in his letter Busby a deplorable human. So this
made fun of him for being a Marine, like you have no valor. It's gotten ugly, right?
It's gotten very ugly and very personal.
Well, Roc Nation, the entertainment empire Jay-Z built, is now being pulled further into the drama because Busby claims individuals connected to Roc Nation are the ones behind these accusations, working to undermine his credibility. If true, this would be a huge move by Jay-Z's team to deflect attention away from the growing list of claims against him.
This morning, Houston attorney Tony Busby is speaking out again about the claims made by rapper Jay-Z through his company Roc Nation on Sunday.
But to make things even worse, these tactics could completely backfire. While discrediting Busby might seem like a smart strategy, it risks making Jay-Z's camp look more focused on silencing opposition than addressing the actual allegations against him. And here's the kicker. With all eyes on Busby's alleged wrongdoings, the victims he represents are at risk of being overshadowed. And that's a problem. Regardless of what's true or not about Busby, his clients' stories are what really matter. And if Jay-Z's team is indeed behind it, it paints a troubling picture of how far they might go to protect his image. But at the same time, these new allegations against Busby add another layer of all the complexity to an already tangled legal web.
If you have multiples, that's not as common. There are false claims that come out, but to have multiples seems a little bit more unlikely to sort of be like, oh, it's all nonsense.
Oh, and you thought I was done? Absolutely not, because the latest developments are raising even more eyebrows. Rumors are swirling that more alleged victims could step forward with accusations against Jay-Z. For years, he's been untouchable, but now his carefully crafted image is starting to crumble under the weight of these allegations.
They're trying to discredit Busby, which is interesting. They're trying to claim he's done this before, which, to be fair, there have been some other athletes and people who've sort of won against him, saying that they were sort of pushed and he didn't have all the facts.
But what's even more shocking, it's not just women coming forward anymore. In a bombshell new filing, Jay-Z is now being accused of multiple incidents involving both male and female young kids. Let that sink in for a minute. The same attorney representing the 13-year-old girl in the infamous 2000 case has now revealed allegations from a young boy, further complicating Jay-Z's legal and public relationship battles. These new court documents reveal some jaw-dropping claims, and Jay-Z's legal team, led by Alex Spiro, admitted in a recent filing that Jay-Z is the anonymous celebrity accusing attorney Tony Busby of extortion. This filing not only acknowledged the ongoing lawsuits, but also disclosed fresh accusations of multiple incidents with kids.
That's what we got to do. A lot of people are just saying Jay-Z's guilty. Not me. I learned from Johnny Depp. We can't just join on in any hype train like that. But a lot of these, there will be records, and if Spiro can pull enough of this out to show there was no after party, like
Spiro's filing painted Jay-Z as the victim of what he called a shameless scheme by Busby. According to Spiro, these claims are nothing more than a desperate attempt to extort large sums of money from Jay-Z under the threat of filing publicly humiliating lawsuits. Y'all, the internet has been talking about Jay-Z crashing out under the Roc Nation Twitter, and it looks like it's because of all the drama surrounding him with these leaked voicemails and the growing allegations that just keep getting messier. From the claims that Roc Nation tried to silence people to new claims potentially coming forward, it's clear the situation is far from over. With every detail that comes out, Jay-Z's legacy and the power dynamics in the entertainment world are being put under the spotlight. And this isn't just about one man, it's about the secrets and the influence that have shaped the industry for years. Do these leaked voicemails confirm Roc Nation's involvement, or is this just another attempt to smear Jay-Z's name? With more alleged victims possibly stepping forward, how much could this reshape how people view Jay-Z and his empire? And how do scandals like this impact the justice system as a whole and the way victims are treated in the industry? Drop your thoughts and comments below, because we got a whole lot to talk about. But